Hello, Libra. Welcome to your weekly reading for May 12th to the 18th. This is for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right into it. Libra, what a week. This is possibly, listen, this is going to be a big week for you. And I say that because there's got to be some big emphasis on partnerships, relationships, and money, but also healing, okay? A lot of healing, and there's many reasons why, but it is, you see, we have a full moon, right? We have the full moon in Scorpio, very different from the one that we had in your sign recently. As you know, with full moons, there's endings, completions. That's what's happening this week, but for these faded new beginnings. And again, I'll explain why. There's possibly going to be you're going to be doing a lot of shadow work if you choose. Right. And you also see that there are less aspects than normal. All right. Because March, actually like February, March, April, I told you those were bonkers months with a lot happening. But these aspects are actually really powerful. They're really strong. Now, like every week, I'm going to go over some things that I didn't talk about. Your May monthly forecast. All right. Libra Nation. I'm also going to tell you some things that you're probably not going to hear from anyone else because this is a big week. All right. Now, we do kick it off on May 12th on Monday with that full moon in Scorpio. And it's happening at 1 p.m. my time. So that's Eastern Standard Time, New York City time. Convert that to wherever you live in the world. But remember, with full moons, you feel it days before, days after. This one you will definitely feel moving into the weekend. And I know I dropped these forecasts a little bit earlier than before the week begins. You're going to feel it. Okay, we basically have a T-square with this full moon over the weekend. And so you may already be feeling the effects of this full moon. Now, this full moon in Scorpio, it's at 22 degrees. And like I said, in your monthly forecast has a little, intensity. It's got a kick to it. And that's emotional intensity because we are talking about the moon and we're talking about Scorpio energy, right? So that can be like intense passion. It's how you use it. But it is a full moon. So there is something ending or coming to completion, or there's a turning point here, right? Scorpio rules your second house. So this has everything to do with your self-worth, your self-value, building that confidence, knowing your worth. But also second house is material possessions, things that your heart desires, right? What makes your heart sing? What do you value? Those are big questions that are going to come up, as well as money, income, salary. This is your second house. Now, when I say endings, completions, turning points, the biggest theme here is actually truth coming to light. And that's because it's a Pluto-ruled full moon. Now, remember, Pluto is ruler of the underworld and has that depth. Every time Pluto comes up, that's why I say, you're going to go really deep here because Pluto is transformation. But Pluto is so far out there, it doesn't get any sunlight. It's in the dark. And that's why I say, this is, going deep, letting things come to the surface. It is a full moon, so things will be illuminated. Maybe pay attention with the sirens going off right now. But when I say things being illuminated, yeah, that can be secrets. That can be revelations. That can even be confessions. Okay? So just keep that in mind. It may be within your world, circumstances happening in your world, or it might be you. There may be something about you where you're like, all right, I'm going deep to have this transformation. I'm being honest with myself and admitting that I'm going to let this go. Remember, you want to let things go during full moons. And moons, as you know, are emotions and also subconscious too. Just like Pluto here. I mean, just really strong feminine energy. And I do have to remind you already have the South Node in Virgo. That is your 12th house, okay, of the subconscious. So there are, and when we say the subconscious, what does that even mean? It's where we store memories. So things that you may be telling yourself, oh, I'm not good enough, right? Remember, we're getting rid of that energy, right? I'm not good enough for this job, or I'm not good enough for this. We're getting rid of that energy. You have the perfect window right here. Look at what's happening over the weekend, right? And by the way, what's happening over the weekend on the 18th, you're going to feel during the full moon, and you're already feeling it now. It's that strong, okay? Now, Pluto, as I said, is transformation. This is all about your transformation. I also said this full moon's at 22 degrees, okay? Like the Sabian symbol it just happens to be metamorphosis, all right? Animal to spirit. You can think caterpillar to butterfly. If that's easier, phoenix rising from the ashes, that's Scorpio energy. Now, 22 degrees, two things here. It is a master number, as you know, many of you already know. It may be your life path number. It is 22. It's just it's you having a deep connection with the ether. You being this force to be reckoned with, knowing there's unlimited potential. 22 is the master builder, right? Which requires creativity, tenacity, leadership, right? Discipline, all of that, and the right confidence to bring your dreams to reality. Being the builder, the engineer of your life journey, your karmic journey. Now, just by sheer coincidence, or maybe not, because coincidence is a wink from the universe, 22 degrees in astrology is a cardinal degree, just like you, and it is the Capricorn degree, meaning hardworking, disciplined, tenacious, leadership. That is the degree. You can even break it down, 22, right? 2 + 2 = 4. What is 4? It's structure. It's hardworking. It's discipline. It's foundation building. So you already see a big theme here. We're letting things go to build the new. And remember, Capricorn, this energy, it's a 22 degree Capricorn degree. Capricorn is Saturn ruled, okay? Don't forget, Saturn is not only karma, right? Or karmic journey, karma, life lessons as well. But Saturn is with your North Node right now. All right. So what I want you to do, Libra, is I want you to think about 6 months ago to November 1st, 2024. I want you to think about the first 2 weeks where the corresponding new moon, right, was really strong for that first 2 weeks. That new moon, when that was happening, November 1st, Pluto was still in Capricorn. Okay? So I want you to think about what happened around that time with money. How are you feeling with money, income, salary, your self-worth, things in your material world, even relationships? Okay? Here's a turning point. Okay? Climax. And there could have definitely been something with home, family, a lot of home energy. Capricorn does rule your 4th house. So home, loved ones, real estate, property matters, maybe renovations, family, children, grandparents, ancestry, all of that. Okay, yeah, going deep with the ancestry. Now, we are in Taurus season this week, right? So the sun is in Taurus, obviously opposite the moon in Scorpio. Remember, the moon is just a rock that reflects the sun. So things being illuminated. Your 8th house. Taurus rules your 8th house. So what is the 8th house? It is death and rebirth. It's transformation. It is ruled by Scorpio. Pluto is Scorpio's ruler. And so you see how you have that overlap here. When I say metamorphosis and transformation, this is going to be a big one for you. All right. So Taurus being and 8th house is also relationship building. It doesn't matter if it's love or career. You got a lot of career stuff happening, by the way. It can be wealth building. You see the 2 money houses in the zodiac wheel. They're activated big time for you. So really thinking about that. But again, 8th house, it really is your personal transformation. All right. And it is happening during this full moon where it's saying, let things go so you can grow. Okay. You can't have that rebirth part without that death part. There's got to be something you've got to let go. All right. Now, like I said, these signs do rule the money houses and that level of relationships I was talking about. So money, finances, investments, investors, things like that. They like commissions, bonuses, royalties, joint bank accounts, taxes, loans, all on the table. There could be something here. Okay. As well as relationships. And you do see that we do have this Uranus Cazimi on the 18th at, like I said, last week even, And your monthly forecast, you're going to feel it during the full moon. And Uranus is all about surprises, but also breakthroughs. Okay. So it could be like you get a windfall of money. You just never know with Uranus. Uranus is in your 8th house. Okay. Of everything that I just mentioned. So just keep that in mind. And remember to vibrate at the high frequency. You know, I'm going to say that, Libra Nation. You know how the law of attraction works, right? You get what you want when you vibrate that high frequency. I'm telling you this because it is a full moon in Scorpio, which can be going deep, especially emotionally, especially doing shadow work. Remember, Pluto's out there in the dark. And 22 degrees, Libra, it's not always a cakewalk. 22 degrees isn't the easiest degree. That's why it's saying let things go so you can grow. All right? Be that leader. And when I say let things go for your transformation, yeah, patterns, habits, relationships, jobs, whatever doesn't serve you well anymore. Whatever you feel deep down in your bones. Okay? Scorpio is a very intuitive sign. We're talking about the moon too. Moon's intuition. You got to feel it. And you got to let it go. Okay? This is a big one for you. All right? So out with the old, in with the new. You know, the death card in tarot is Scorpio. Transformation. You got to know what you want. All right? What is your truth? Okay? If there's one tarot card, if it comes out your spread, I'm gonna, all right, because we'll see. All right, I'll tell you too if it doesn't. I'll tell you what it is. But anyway, the other thing is, and it could be the way that you're thinking about money, feeling about work, feeling about a relationship. All right, whether you're single or in one, and again, it can be work related here or just all of that one-on-one relationships with a sister or your postman. It doesn't matter. Lawyer, your agent. It doesn't matter. Anyway, with the moon being opposite Uranus, by the way, Uranus being the great awakener, change, breakthroughs, freedom, it's liberating. So there's something here that's liberating you. So that's why I want you to use it. I always say use these aspects. Don't let them use you. And because Uranus is involved, yeah, it can bring a level of shocks and surprises and the unexpected. But you vibrate at the high frequency, you're not even know. And you're going to be using the aspect, all right? And so, again, maybe some things with home, family, within that sphere. It is the moon. And there could be a rebellious side of you, too, coming out. It's Uranus. Uranus is, not only rebellious, Uranus is revolution and evolution, while you have Pluto in Aquarius. That's retrograde. Remember, it's transformation that comes from within now, but you still feel it in your external world. And Uranus is the ruler for Aquarius. So you see what's happening here. All right. Now, you throw in the fact that Mercury is square Pluto. That's a little, let's talk. Well, let's not, because I talked about this in your monthly forecast. Just go back to that. And remember what I said. You work with this energy, it breeze. And then remember what's waiting for you in 2 weeks if you work with this energy, right? Just remember that Mercury is communication. It is the mind. And Pluto is very psychological. Pluto goes deep, very forensic, right? Your inner, Mulder, Scully. It doesn't matter. Pluto is in Aquarius that rules your 5th house. So you're going really deep when it comes to things that bring you pleasure and joy with everything that's happening for you. This is your 5th house. And so that does include love, true love, romance. It includes family and children. You see the big overlap happening for you here? Yeah. It's also creativity, creative projects, and self-expression, and sex, procreation, having kids, hobbies as well. Okay, hobby, kickball, whatever you want. But it's just, you're going to go really deep here for your transformation and growth. And remember, Mercury squaring Pluto is going to add a little bit more of an intensity to the full moon. But every Libra is different. Some of y'all may feel like a 1 out of 10. Depends on how you handle everything and if you're vibrating at a high frequency, right? And I'm just letting you know that Mercury square Pluto does increase the probability of things really coming to the surface. Revelations, secrets being revealed. May not be you, maybe someone else, but it really is definitely going to be you digging deep to get to the bottom of things. Yeah. For everything that I just mentioned. Okay. 5th house, even 4th house activity, even 2nd. You've got a lot of stuff happening. Yeah. So don't be afraid to let things come to the surface. Be the phoenix rising from the ashes. Let things go. Let things go. I told you it's a very intuitive time. Use your gut. This is truly using your gut instincts. The fact that you've got the South Node in Virgo. Virgo rules the gut, the digestive system. And that is your 12th house, which is intuition. Use it. Very spiritual. So do that shadow work and healing, and you're going to be fine, because Mercury in Taurus, square Pluto and Aquarius, you're going to feel it days before, days after. It's strong. It's 2 fixed signs. There's a little bit of resistance here, a little bit of inflexibility in terms of thinking, okay? And you remember, Pluto can bring the extremes of Mercury out, so it can be like fighting words or thoughts or even power struggles and jealousy, especially during like a full moon in Scorpio. It can be anything. It can be love. It can be work. It can be family. It's like whatever resonates with you. Y'all got different birth charts. I don't know them all. You're all different from each other, right? So it's definitely whatever you're exploring. But just remember, Mercury square Pluto, it can also be like too much control. It can be too much power, wanting too much power in a relationship or with money, or Taurus is a finance sign too. The biggest thing of all, here's a great analogy. This is like troll energy, Mercury square Pluto, all right? Like internet trolls. It is Mercury, right? 3rd house rules the internet. And then you actually will have the moon in Sagittarius right after in your 3rd house of communication and, writing and speaking. Yeah. So when I say troll energy, yeah, they're going to be out to play. They're going to be out to play these days, especially this day. Because this energy is very like, oh, I refuse to do the shadow work. I'm always right. I'm not going to change. And I'm going to put all my darkness on social media or, chat rooms or comments or whatever that is. Remember, trolls stay hidden. They're in the shadows. They're in the dark. When I talk about Pluto, that's what this is. That's what this is. It's happening on the day of the Scorpio full moon. Scorpio is a scorpion. It's got the stinger. So remember, 2 things. Be responsive, not reactive. You're on a karmic journey. You create your path, your reality. That's why we say life is what you make it, right? Use this aspect to empower yourself. Pluto is empowerment. I told you in your monthly forecast, everything about it, okay? Check it out, all right? It's really good it's very psychic. It's very like having a good filter. No one can deceive you. So be the best version of yourself. Vibrate at that high frequency. What does that even mean, right? It's unconditional love. It's compassion. It's gratitude. It's kindness. All right. And I'm saying this because trolls, whether online or in person, people people can try to bring you down into their low energy frequency. And so what do I always say? Don't let anyone ever take away your power. But if they try that, pull them out of their low energy frequency. Okay? Because they're the ones that need support. Okay? That's karma. That's the greater good. That's high frequency. All right? So keep that in mind. Now, I talked about shadow work, right? I did. This is why. Again, you're going to feel that all week. You got Saturn with the North Node still. You got Pluto retrograde. You got Jupiter square the nodes. Jupiter sextile Chiron. We'll talk about it. Don't worry. We're going to talk about. This is when they perfect, by the way. So when I say these Jupiter aspects you've been feeling from the beginning of the month, oh yeah, you have. Okay, and the closer you get to this date, the stronger and stronger and stronger you feel it. And again, don't forget you got the South Node in Virgo anyway, so you're already doing shadow work. And remember, South Node in Virgo is eliminating anything that's self-critical. You're being hard on yourself, or even that perfectionist energy. We're getting rid of that. Because that's everything that you're like, okay, I've learned my lesson here. I've learned my lesson here. These are the karmic nodes. The karmic nodes. So it's everything is cyclical. Okay, so don't be afraid to go deep. Be in touch with your emotions. You're going to feel a lot of things subconscious, right? Again, habits, patterns, things like that. It's a full moon. You got the South Node in your 12th house of the subconscious. So it's identifying things that may be holding you back that you may be doing, because the 12th house, the lower expressions would be like self-sabotage or hidden enemies. So this may be a week. Remember, there's secrets and revelations and things like that. Yeah. There may be someone that you thought was supporting you that's not. And you recognize it. Or there may be something that you're doing to yourself, telling yourself, I'm not good enough for this job, or I'm not good enough for this. No, you are. We're getting rid of those energies this week. Yeah? Because Jupiter and a couple other things are helping you. So again, it's okay to cry it out. It's okay to shout in your kitchen. Okay? Like, do the Kevin Bacon Footloose dance when he's like, We're human beings, Libra. All right? We were built with a range of emotions to feel them all. Those low energy frequency emotions, because emotions are frequency. I've told you this. Emotere, energy and motion. Those help us grow. Okay? You just don't want to get stuck there. It's okay feeling them. You just don't want to get stuck there. Spend time in nature. Do some grounding. I told y'all about that. Go get a massage. You're Libra. You love that. Venus is your ruler. You love massages. Anyway, we're going to talk about this a lot more in the second spread. Another reason why this full moon is so powerful, it will be conjuncting Juno. And Juno, who's in Scorpio now, is this big. All right? It's at 24 degrees. That's a very intuitive degree. So your intuition will likely be very heightened. And that's a great degree. I like the 24 degrees. Juno, this is why this is such a big deal for you. We've talked about Juno, right? Asteroid, Roman goddess of marriage, right? But justice too. Juno is your asteroid. She's linked to Libra. So Juno, who actually complements Venus, right? She fights for justice and commitments and marriage and contracts and fidelity, infidelity, betrayal, legal matters, personal relationships, even wealth. So now, do you see there's this extra layer of relationships and maybe even situationships? Maybe even, are you a love triangle? It doesn't matter. This is all about Juno bringing you justice and truth to the matter of things. Okay? Use it. She's helping you. This is your asteroid, and she is fierce. Okay? So whatever you're seeking, this is it. She's going to help. Now, why is this such a big deal other than that? And this can be money. Like I said, it can be money and getting the job that you deserve and knowing that you're worth this and launching your business, whatever you're doing, okay? It is self-worth, self-value. She's bringing you that confidence. Juno is actually with the North Node. So Juno's negotiating with the North Node. Your destiny, your mission statement, your purpose. And it's tight. It's what, 1 degree. So it's a trine. And remember, the North Node is in Pisces. Yeah. So the fact that rules your 6th house of everyday activities and your lifestyle and your, routines, which includes work and colleagues and employees and bosses, things like that, but also health, health matters, physical fitness, pets, all of that. That's all sixth house stuff. That's all, So there's something really special happening here, okay? Because this is the 24 degrees is a Pisces degree. Yeah. And you just can't make this up. The fact that 2 + 4 = 6, right? That's such a beautiful number. It's harmony. You got the North Node in Pisces in your sixth house. Come on. Now, remember what I said about November 1st, the corresponding new moon? Juno actually moved into Scorpio November 3rd. So she actually came to help you for that new moon. She then moved into Sagittarius for a little bit, did a little bit of a retrograde, and then literally 2 weeks ago, just moved back into Scorpio. So what are the chances she was there for you for the new moon and she's come back to help you for the full moon? Okay, so use her. You got Saturn with the North Node in Pisces. You're still feeling that. And can I just tell you right now, they're separating now. So you got to congratulate yourself. You just got through that Saturn North Node conjunction with Venus conjuncting Saturn and all of that. That was big. Okay, so remember, Saturn's all about building that structure for your destiny, but you got to work with Saturn, all right? And like I said, he's making things easy for you now. But here's the kicker. You've got Saturn and the North Node with Ceres. I talked about her last week. Ceres, who's linked to Virgo. Ceres, planetoid, right? All about just self-care, nurturing, nutrition, divine, motherhood, fertility, all of that. Very, very self-nurturing, okay? And nurturing others. You got them all together, sextiling Uranus and Taurus. This is big. This is really big. Remember, Saturn and Uranus are working together with you right now for your new vision, okay? Uranus is all about breakthroughs and innovation and, right? Your breakthroughs and change and progress, and is really good at rebuilding. And yes, I did say rebuilding, not building, because remember, Uranus is going to break things down this week, and you're going to use it for this new vision, this new path, this new journey. You got Pluto and Aquarius already. Pluto is breaking things down for you for this new future. So when I say out with the old, in with the new, I'm not even joking. Remember, Neptune moved into Aries last month? That's big. You got Neptune in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships now. Okay? So Neptune, which dissolves, I've talked about this, Neptune is dissolving your old visions because you learned. It's been 14 years. You learned. And now you're on this new journey. Okay? I told you your life is changing. And of course, it's gradual. This isn't going to happen overnight. Well, for some Libras, it depends on your chart, but yeah, you're going to feel this. So it's really great. It's really great. Okay. And we will talk about in the second spread, Ceres, the Roman goddess of motherhood, fertility, agriculture, self-care, nurturing yourself and others. Actually, there actually may be something with food. There may be something with diet for you. There may be something with nutrition for you. We'll talk about the second spread. But like I said, Saturn, why am I harping on him so much? Because Saturn, two things. You're going to have the moon in Capricorn all weekend. And the moon in Capricorn is no nonsense. Yeah? And that, again, is your 4th house of home and family and real estate. And you already have so much home stuff happening all week. So much. All right? And so we'll talk about in the second spread. But Saturn, please don't forget this. Next week, Saturn officially moves into Aries, joining Neptune. And on May 16th, Ceres will be joining them too. And so you got 3 of them in Aries, your opposite sign of partnerships, relationships, legal matters, one-on-one connections. So when I talk about relationships being a thing for you and contracts and things like that, yeah, there's a lot happening. And so Saturn, because he is moving into a new sign with Neptune and Ceres, and you already got Venus, your ruler, in Aries this week as well. Saturn is saying, hey, I'm in a new part of your life. So I'm going to make you leave old structures and patterns and ways of thinking and systems behind. Okay. And Saturn, remember, he can put on the aviators. He can put on the good belt and he can say, we're going to do this. We're going to do this just in general. But if you want to do it the hard way, we can do it the hard way. So remember, you got to just work with his rules, but it's all about out with the old, in with the new. That's all it is. And when I see what's happening for Libra Nation, you want the new. All right? So let's make room for it. All right? And I got to tell you something here, Libra. When I tell you about Ceres, listen, she moved into Pisces in February. Yeah? Just in time to join that once a lifetime 6-planet conjunction, right? On that 0-degree point. Like we know about this. That big wave you've been riding. And now she's joining Saturn and Neptune, which you're going to feel strongly for the rest, for especially the month. They're all going to be at that 1 degree point for all of May. And again, that's self-nurturing, that's self-care. But caring for yourself so you can care for others. Or just caring for others because it's very paternal energy. So at this point, with Juno, with Ceres, with everything else that's happening for you, you have to know at this point there is this higher, powerful force that's helping you, that's guiding you. Okay? This is wonderful. And don't forget, next week, you're already feeling it now. That's why I'm just going to bring it up now. Remember, Venus is trining Mars. It's very different from the last one we had. And you got the Sun sextile Saturn. You're already feeling those. Okay? So you're kind of like moving into that energy. And that's amazing. I'll talk about it next week because it's part of Mars is in Leo and your hopes and wishes and future dreams and goals. All right. Now, if you're a cross watcher, if you watch for your rising, your moon, or your husband, or your grandma, fixed signs. That would be Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. They're going to feel this the most this entire day. Yep. If you know your birth chart, your natal chart, and again, I'm giving this a wider orb here because of Uranus, you're going to feel this if you got planets between 20 to 27 degrees in any of the fixed signs I just mentioned, or Virgo, or Pisces. And I'm going to throw in Capricorn. Now, there they are. My backup glasses, because I can't see. That's why I'm squinting. And then, yeah, some of y'all may be signing something or having a really big, important conversation this week. Again, we'll talk more about it in the second spread. And then home stuff. And then we get to May 17th. You got Mercury. You got Mercury square Mars on May 17th. All right. So this is a big deal because you got another square in fixed signs, right? I talked about this in your monthly forecast. It happens once a year. It's rare, but it's a little speed bump, okay? You're going to feel it days before. You're going to feel it days after. And Mars has a bite. Mars is really penetrating. Mars is like a laser, yeah? And he is in Leo. That is your 11th house. So, again, yeah, it is your future hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your long-term goals, your long-term plans. There's also your social network and groups you belong to and, you know, benefactors and allies and your friendships and community. And it could be like, LinkedIn community. It's whatever resonates with you. So again, there may be something here that you feel. Remember, the lower expression of Mars and Leo would be pride and ego and all about me. And it can be reckless, and it can, really weaponize the powers of Mercury, words and thoughts. So yeah, around this time, words can be exchanged, and there can be tempers. There can be impulsive behavior. There can be rushing through decisions, or not thinking before you speak, jumping to conclusions, competitive energy. That's all part of this package. Mercury square Mars. It can be challenging, especially again for y'all. It may be something that has to do with a friendship or a group you belong to, or a partnership. Again, it can be a business partner. It can be your partner, your significant other. There could be something here about money, not seeing eye to eye about money. But remember, use these aspects. Don't let them use you. Okay? Be direct. This is Mars. You can be direct, but be diplomatic. I mean, you're Libras. Y'all are anyway. Yeah? It's like listen and agree and compromise, and just don't let anyone get your goat. Okay? Don't let anyone get your scale, because it's for the collective. Everyone's going to feel this energy. And again, on the day of the Uranus Cazimi, where it is unexpected, people can say unexpected things to you. You could say something unexpected to someone. Yeah, so you just want to be mindful. That's all it is. But just remember, you are on a karmic journey, okay? If you go to that circus and you want to get in that roller coaster, it's your favorite roller coaster ride. And you get in line, and the operator looks at you. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you can't wear Crocs." Right? You got to throw your Crocs at that person, right? There can be words exchanged because they gave you that look. What are you going to do, Libra? You're going to smile. All right? You're going to smile. You say, "Okay, another time when I'm wearing my Tivas." Yeah. And so you're going to just work with your karma. You're on a karmic journey. You're going to go on another ride, and you're going to, that ride operator turns out to be your soulmate, or, they have a basket of ice cream, cherry flavored, whatever your favorite is. And they're like, "Oh, I don't think I want this. You want this?" Or maybe on the ride, you're sat right next to Kristen Wiig. She says, I want you in my next movie." You see how this works? You see how this works when you vibrate at the high frequency? All right. So anyway, also remember I said you can use this physically, right? You can use its physicality. It's Mars, especially with a square like this. Exert that energy. All right. Do some gardening, some karate, tai chi. It doesn't matter. Weed whacking, golf, whatever you want to do. Fishing. Go to the beach. Anyway, one of the reasons why you are definitely going to feel this is because Mercury is going to be opposite Juno, which is, again, linked to you. So there's definitely something here that may be with the relationships, money, but also whatever it is definitely having this impact on your self-worth, your self-value. There may be something here. All right. So someone may be at you. You want to be responsive, and you want to grow from that situation, learn from that situation. Anyway, fixed signs: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Aries, Gemini, and Virgo will feel this the most if you are a cross watcher. And if you have any planets in your chart between 10 to 16 degrees in any of the fixed signs, again, it doesn't matter. We look at the angular aspects. You'll feel this. 17th, 18th, depending on where you live. Remember, a lot of these aspects happen like at midnight. We got the Uranus Cazimi. Unless you live for the next 84 years, Libra, this is going to be the last Uranus Cazimi that we have in Taurus in our lifetime. Bye-bye. Bye. Yeah, you are going to love this. You're going to love, well, you're going to love Uranus leaving Taurus, where it's detriment, right? Uranus has been in your 8th house since 2018. Have you had some shakeups in relationships, marriage, money, business, work? No more. This is the last one. Okay. And Uranus, remember, is moving into Gemini in 2 months. Not only is that a million times better for Uranus, right? Uranus is so much better in Gemini than it does in Taurus. But for you too. You're, fellow air sign like Gemini, your BFF. And then remember the sextiles and the trines that are, we'll talk about it, but this is great. Anyway, this day, just expect something unexpected. It's unpredictable. That's Uranus. But remember, it's your breakthrough. Uranus is saying, hey, Libra, use me. Shake things up. I'm the great awakener. I represent freedom. So break from some routine that no longer serves you. Do something different. Okay? Do something different. Shake things up. And this is something where you can have a big breakthrough. Remember, it's revolutionary, evolutionary, and innovation. So it can even just be the way that you're thinking about something, but it's change, period, right? So remember, the chances of something happening that's unexpected, maybe even sudden, with a Uranus Kazemi are very, very, very high. It can be the Tower card, or it can be the Wheel of Fortune. So remember, on this day, no matter what, you know about the law of attraction. So you want to vibrate at that high frequency, but you also want to make that change. Okay. It can be subtle. It can be big, whatever you want to do. But Uranus is waking up and saying, he's been awake, but when he's with the sun, yeah, this is when there's something where he's saying like, oh, it's been a year. Oh, okay. I got to shake something up here. Unless you are a step ahead of him. You're like, oh, don't worry, I'm going to do it first. Anyway, again, it is happening in your 8th house. So there can be something here with, like I said, like a windfall. There's money here. There could be like a sudden inheritance. Maybe your parents are like, hey, we're going to retire. We're going to move to Hawaii. You're getting our, pineapple business on the other island. In Hawaii, whatever. Anyway, and then it's like, and you're gonna be making $1 million a year, whatever it is. There's just something here because 8th house is inheritance. It's also like, like I said, loans and things like that, and money matters. Keep that in mind. But it's still 8th house. The core of it is just transformation. It's deep. It's death and rebirth, right? So, and sex. You got the two, like, intimacy houses activated highly this week. Okay. Anyway, so unexpected. All right. Breakthroughs. 27 degrees too. That's what it's happening at 27 degrees. So that's really great. And this is why and that's a 9. We know that. We talked about 2025 year 9, but anyway, it is a Gemini degree, mutable degree. So really great. This is 27 degrees is the degree of communication and curiosity and learning and being very open to new experiences, which is why I think it's likely going to be you that's going to have that breakthrough. Okay. It's great. Now, Jupiter is remember, I said that's a Gemini degree. Remember, Jupiter is in Gemini, right? And look, you got so let's talk about Jupiter squaring the nodes. Jupiter is the king of the gods. Jupiter is Jove, right? Optimism. So it doesn't matter the aspect. He's always going to squeeze something good out of an aspect. And I actually like these squares because there's this great fated opportunity that has the potential to go big or expand or have good luck and good fortune around. And it definitely is changing your perspective. But there's something here with your daily activities, which does include health and work. That's the 6th house. Here's the thing. You remember, you start feeling at the beginning of the month. So you could be in the expanding phase right now, or it happens now. And for the next few weeks, you're in your expansion phase. Either way, just put yourself out there. You've got the karmic node of fate with a planet of luck and wisdom and growth and expansion. And remember, Jupiter is faith. And Jupiter is in Gemini in your ninth house of faith. Jupiter rules the ninth house. So you see how enormously special this is for you, because the ninth house is spirituality. It's wisdom. It's being the wise one, the role model, even like the teacher. The ninth house is also travel. There may be something here with travel, meeting someone from foreign culture, foreign lands. It's book publishing. You working on your book, podcasts, broadcasting. There may be something with second marriage too. Ninth house is second marriage. And there is a degree of like the courts and legal matters with the ninth house as well. So you see, you have that theme pretty much all week. Okay. But it's opportunities. Now, Jupiter sextile Chiron, I talked about last week. That's great. You've got you've got opportunities for growth and expansion with the shadow work that you do. Chiron is old wounds. Healing old wounds. You got Jupiter working with Chiron. So this is with partnerships and relationships and legal matters. That's what Aries represents for you. And so there's something here in regard to partnerships and relationships and one-on-one connections. It can be a friend. It can be work. It can be love. This is time to heal. If there was a breakup, if you had a falling out, this is the time to heal. And you've got Jupiter on your side. And that's why this is a week we're doing any sort of healing or shadow work. You're good. You're good. Don't be afraid to go deep. By the way, Aries is here. Aries is right on top of Chiron. So Aries is conjuncting Chiron. We talked about Aries, Mars' sister. So the warrior goddess, who can be a little, we'll talk about in the second spread. Anyway, we haven't seen this conjunction in 54 years with Aries and Chiron. All right. And then that's it. Let's just know that you're on your path, reaping rewards. And please look, I talk a lot. The last thing is that if you want to know what signs are going to be affected the most on the 18th, it's going to be everyone. All the modalities are activated. All right. So, but it is a fixed sign. It's going to feel it the most. If you have planets between 24 to 29 degrees in any of the fixed signs, or Pisces, or Virgo, or 0 to 5 degrees in Aquarius or Aries in your birth chart, you're going to feel it the most. Libra, let's get started. Let's see what's going on for you. Okay, for May 12th to the 18th for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. All right, so Libra, y'all are so funny. Y'all crack me up. The other thing I was going to tell you is that the moon will conjunct Pluto on that day as well. So yes, that adds a little bit more intensity to the 18th. That is your fifth house of pleasure, joy, creativity, sex, procreation, creative projects, true love, romance. We'll talk about it in the second spread. Libra, I do a traditional culture cross spread, offers the best overview if we need to pull clarifiers, especially for a weekly reading, especially for a week like this too. If we need to pull clarifiers, you know that we will, and you know I love y'all. Let's get started. Libra, okay. This is gonna be a week where there's gonna be change. You see that happening here, right? You see that happening. All right, so you're actually gonna be good. You're actually really protected here. I don't mind that. Oh gosh. Okay, so Libra, you got the Queen of Cups. Do you see what's happening here? Do you see what's happening? Yeah, you got your card. You got the Three of Swords and the Heart of your spread. You did, yeah, but you got all court cards protecting it. It's interesting. All courts. You got three queens. You got the Queen of Cups. Amazing. That's heart-based. She leads with her heart. Got a lot of love to give. She is, okay? She does what her heart desires, all of that. Go with that energy, okay? Most of all, she's got that self-love. What's that saying? You got to love yourself before you love anyone. So remember, that's what I've been talking about. You got have that self-love, do that shadow work, right? Seems like you are going to, and I'm going to explain why, but I do love that as you move into this week, having that self-love, the love for everybody, that super conscious love, okay? She's also the most intuitive queen, right? There's this almost like this awakening that you're already feeling as you move into this week, okay? Really, really wonderful. And there, by the way, Queen of Purple and Violet, right? It's interesting. There are very few cards that you see purple and violet, which has the shortest wavelength, therefore the highest energy. That's why the crown chakra, right? It's purple, is that divine awareness of violet. Anyway, I love this. So I'm getting that into, like, you're feeling it. You're feeling good. Now, you do have the Three of Swords in the heart of your spread. There you go. It's your card. And I think that I told you this before. Not a lot of people know that Saturn is actually exalted in your sign. And this card is attributed to Saturn in Libra. All right. And remember, Saturn is a strong player this week. So there may be something here with partnerships and relationships that's ending, like I said, from the very beginning. All right. But there's something here. Again, it just feels like I really think it's you. And it's just something that's hard for you to do. There may be something that it's just, okay. But again, every Libra is different. Just know the Three of Swords has that emotional impact. But it really is all about the mindset, your mindset, mind over matter, right? And I say that because the Three of Swords, yeah, sure, we call it the heartbreak card. Yeah. Still a sword suit. It's up here, right? And there can be something here with communication or the way that you're thinking, but it feels, again, it seems like it's just something hard for you to do, but you're doing it, or you are going really deep and feeling something. And it can feel, when you do that shadow work, when you go deep, yeah, you can feel it, but you got to remember, don't get stuck there. And remember what I said about mindset. Sure, you can see the clouds. It's raining. You can think when it rains, it pours. Or you can think after the rainstorm comes a rainbow. Mind over matter. Yeah? Now, you have the King of Wands here. And your challenge area, two things. A, don't lose inspiration. And remember, this full moon in Scorpio that's in your second house of self-worth and self-value, that's everything. Feel that? He's confident AF. So know that you are a huge leader. Have that confidence. He's a big leader. Passion. Feel it, right? Heart energy. Okay? He is Leo. That said, two other things actually. One, remember I said not seeing eye to eye with someone this week. It can be a boss. It can be a leader, authority that may be a little too. So just be mindful of that. All right? They could be making you feel a certain way, but they could also, inspire you to do something that's like, bye-bye, toxic boss, or, you know what I mean? Like, whatever is resonating with you. But the other thing is, like, yeah, there may be a friendship, like a falling out with a friend or with a friend. There may be something here with a friend or a group that you belong to. 11th house energy, because, again, he is Leo. And remember, you got Mars and Leo, which can be strong. And it's square Mercury. And that is your 11th house. Now, the other thing is you do have the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords. So I actually don't mind this. Three of Swords. I think that there's just something here where you're going to, you got the Queen of Wands in your crown. And remember, I talk about law of attraction. Like, if there's anyone that knows the law of attraction, it's the Queen of Wands. She can walk into a room like Meryl Streep and just naturally get whatever she wants because she radiates and she's vibrating at a high frequency and people feel her energy. And you see the black cat at her feet. She's already done her shadow work. She's already done all that. She's got the sunflower in her hand. She's got the sunflowers in her throat. These exist in the actual sun card. Talk about optimism, right? Therefore, she's got the powers of the sun. So there's something very optimistic here. Yum. With that Queen of Swords, what I tell you about Juno, and this is your card too. Queen of Swords is Libra, and she's very much like the Justice card, all about truth. Look at her sword pointing straight to the sky. I told you about that, to the heavens, to the cosmos. True perception, being honest with yourself. No one can lie to you or deceive you. And this is you just being headstrong too. You got all three queens. They're leaders, but they all have this sense, like, she's all ahead above the clouds. Really good judgment, right? But you got everything here. This is someone, the Queen of Wands. She's an entrepreneur. There's a wand, so a lot of career-related stuff, like I said, you're going through, but it doesn't matter. It's just, what are your passions? That's a Queen of Wands. She's very regal, too, and people gravitate toward her. You got the Queen of Swords. It's all about, this is the right way, and this is how things are done, because she's got this huge backstory, sitting in this throne for a reason. She knows right from wrong. So this is justice, right? Remember, very much like the Justice card, which, again, is also your card. And with the Queen of Cups, I love this. Page of Pentacles in your future. So there may be something that you go through, and it can be emotionally impactful, but look at what comes out in the end. There's something new. You got that Page of Pentacles. I mean, that's amazing. Page of Pentacles is just something new that's rooting up in your life. That is, maybe a new job or a side hustle, or like I said, money coming through. With Uranus in your 8th house, and Mercury in your 8th house, something with money. Okay? The full moon in your 2nd house, you got money stuff. And Pentacles are your physical reality. So something coming through, like I said, material possessions in the way beginning with a full moon in Scorpio. So there may be, that Honda Civic you wanted. Whatever, there may be something coming through, but either way, he's the biggest student. So there's something, again, it may be a new job, new career path, side hustle. There's something that you can grow, and it is in your future. And it can be someone too. Remember, I said physical reality. It can be a new relationship, a new business partner, a new boss, whatever it is. Actually, Yep. Did you see last week's reading? Yeah, in your crown. It's almost like what you were manifesting is now happening, because he's now in your future. I don't mind that for your swords. Again, yeah, you may have some emotional, but anyway, I told you this is going to be an emotional week, but it's a week of healing. Libra, y'all are amazing. If you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, tell me what is going on. And you like my Venus flytrap? I just got it. Oh, by the way, also, yes, I gotta tell every sign this. I finished, okay? And they're up. So my merchandise store, new designs, and it's taken so long, and they're all based on your comments. So it's the you're good. I mean, but new designs and mugs and all that, hats and tote bags and shirts and stuff. Libra stuff. There's a lot of new stuff there. So I know it took so long, and thank you. Okay, let's see what's going on. Oh, like I was like teary-eyed last week. Look at what's happening for you. I can't even. You got the Page of Wands. Go for it. Seems like I said, a lot of y'all may be getting new jobs, careers, side hustles, starting something new, getting something off the ground. It can be with someone else involved. It can be with even just family, doing something with a family member. But there is something here, right? With the 2 pages, you got the Wands and the Pentacles. It could be like career, salary, right? But remember, once it's just, what are you ambitious about? This is a lot of creative energy here, but a lot of potential. And that's the pages bringing you this potential. And like I said, you want something new. And you want that recognition for it too. You got the 9 of Pentacles. So like I said, there may be something here where, someone's supporting you. Like when you got 8th house activity, remember we're talking about like investors. You got the 9 of Pentacles in your external factors area. So yeah, that's very possible. That's very possible. This is someone who is rich. You see her harvest, yeah. But again, there can be something here where someone is supporting you in some way, and it can be in your physical world as well with the Pentacles, all right? But someone that may be helping you grow something. You see, you've got it with the Page of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles. Who this is all about self-sufficiency too. This is someone who's earned her spot here. She's worked hard to get here, and she sees something in you, all right? And also, listen, it can just be the universe opening doors for you in some way. Kismet energy. Remember, you got the nodes really activated. And you see your symbol here, by the way, the symbol of Venus all over her gown. So it can be it's feminine energy, but it can be like someone coming into your world. Like, again, maybe it is a relationship. Yeah. Someone with a lot of money. Or it can be that wealth in your physical world. Like, as in, like, I've been seeking this wealth and relationship. Like, I want this relationship to feel really good and I feel happy in it. And anyway, you got the Nine of Swords, but where it falls on your staff, all it's saying is like, I'm done. I don't want to be sitting up at night worrying about things, stressing about things, over analyzing things, especially with someone else involved, or not having someone involved, or, you know what I mean? You're over it. You're done. You're doing something different. And lastly, you got the Star in your final outcome. I mean, you're good. You get a mic drop. You get one of these. You got the owl. You get a lot of things. You got the Star and your final outcome. This is your hopes, your wishes, your future hopes, wishes, dreams, long-term goals. This is the Star is aligning for you. This is strength. This is wisdom. This is everything. This is healing. That's the Star. What comes after the Tower? The Star. So the Tower is like burn it down, build it up. It's like things that, you know, but this is like that healing process after. What did I say about like this growth? Something growing in your world. You see the water bear here pouring. It is Aquarius, by the way. I told you, you got the Aquarius energy with Pluto. Pluto is in Aquarius in your 5th house of joy, pleasure, true love, romance, creativity, creative projects, all of that, everything I mentioned earlier, but you see her pouring onto the land. I talked about that fertility, that growth with Sirius moving into, well, not only with the North Node, but also moving into Aries too. Partnerships, relationships, legal matters, but it didn't even matter. This is your physical world. It's growing. There's this growth in your world. You're good. You're good. You're good. Listen, again, I don't mind that 3 of Swords. It just means you're going to have to go through something. But I just told you already, it's a very emotional week. You're going to have to feel something. Someone may do something to you that may be, but, you know, as long as you learn from it and grow from it, you got a lot to look forward to here. And again, there is a sense of like protection here with all these courts around the sword or the 3 of Swords. I mean, that's how I see it. The 3 of Swords is, you know, 3 is all about, 3 is growth and advancement and maturation and development and learning. Yeah. But it is a vibration of the Empress, and that would be the birth of new things. Yeah. So there's something that maybe this emotional impact, and it could even be like, hey, I've been at the same job 5 years. Everyone at the job, they're like family to me, my colleagues. But I got the tools and the knowledge now to start my own company, and it's going to be hard to say bye to them. And that's emotions that you feel. Anyway, you're good. Libra, thanks so much. Oh my gosh. Libra, if you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, tell me what's going on. And next week we'll go deeper in the thing. And this, the second spread. Oh yeah. We are going to do a spread just on the full moon, then pull some more cards on the lunations, the asteroids, the planetoids. We have this amazing golden triangle. There's so much happening. There's so much. Tier 3 members, you know where to find the link. Anyone's welcome to join. You see, I got 2 decks out. I'll see y'all later. Libra, thanks so much. I'm excited for you. Y'all are amazing. I'll see you next week. Okay, bye-bye.